প্রিয় দর্শক, আপনাদের আমন্ত্রণ জানাচ্ছি ওয়ালটন ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোন অনুষ্ঠান থেকে। আমি মোহাম্মদ নুরিয়াজিজ। আজকে আমাদের সাথে অতিথি হিসেবে আছেন সুইজারল্যান্ডের অ্যাম্বাসেডর মিস্টার উডস হেরেন্স। আমরা ওনার সাথে কথা বলবো উনি বাংলাদেশে কেমন আছেন এবং বাংলাদেশ নিয়ে কি ভাবছেন। Welcome to Diplomatic Zone.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to Bangladesh also, and how you feel to be here in Bangladesh?
I mean, it's a good feeling to be here in Bangladesh. This is a very interesting and very dynamic country. I'm living here with my family, and we like it to be here. It's never boring one moment.
Wow, that's really nice to know that. And you are doing so many things in Bangladesh. First of all, I wanted to talk about you are helping to develop local government system. So would you like to say something about it, please?
Maybe I can start by saying that our collaboration with Bangladesh goes back to the very beginning of your statehood. We started working in 1972, and actually in March 72 we opened diplomatic relations with your country. Ever since then we have been involved in a development program with and for Bangladesh. Now you mentioned local governance. This is a topic which we like as Swiss people. We ourselves have a very decentralized system of governance. So we are working with your country to strengthen the Union Parishad and the Upazila level authorities so that they become more capable of doing whatever they should be doing.
Do you find any difficulties to work particularly in this field, or what are the main obstacles you're facing to this?
No, I think the response to the programs which we are doing, which are mainly training program, is very good. I mean, we get very enthusiastic response from Union Parishad chairman, but also from local communities. Of course, the process of decentralization in Bangladesh is going on, but it's still a bit slow. I think in the future, Bangladesh would have an interest to devolve more responsibility and more funds to the local government, so that the services can be delivered at people's doorstep, as your government is saying.
Personally, I also believe it's very important to have a strong local government. And at the same time, you're working to help those poor people to develop their skill. So what are the main focus of that, like skill development?
You know, I think skills development is an area in the development of Bangladesh which would need more attention.
Right.
Now you have a garment industry, for instance, which is going very strong, but many workers in the garment industry, they are not very skilled. I mean, they're trained to perform certain tasks. If the industry wants to develop, and if people from Bangladesh want to find better paying jobs abroad, they will have to bring more skills, you know, mechanics, electricians, people who repair TVs, who can build an engine and so on.
How are you doing it exactly? Are you opening any institution for that, or you are tying with the other NGOs to help you to skill development?
Right. We have, I think, two very successful programs with local NGOs in Bangladesh who are training young people, mostly working kids or kids who have dropped out from school. So they get like an education which allows them to read, write and calculate, and at the same time they get a practical skill that they can use, be it tailoring, carpentry and so on. These local institutions do a great job, so what we do is providing the funds for running the system. At the same time, we work with the government and the Asian Development Bank
ADB,
and also the World Bank in strengthening the technical training institutions of the government.
That would be great, and we want to see better technical institute in our country. One interesting thing, like you are helping Bangladeshi poor people to have a open market access What exactly you're doing on there?
I think being poor is not only a matter of lacking money or lacking assets to produce something. Very often poor people, they lack knowledge. So they produce milk, let's say, but they have no idea how the market functions.
Right, exactly,
they produce vegetables, but they don't know what the price is and so on. So we work on what we call market chains to assure that a producer who produces vegetables, fruit, shrimps, fish, whatever, poultry, he can get access to the market, he can better sell his product.
Right.
At the same time, he gets better information on how he could improve his business.
প্রিয় দর্শক, বিরতির পর আবার ফিরে এসেছি আমাদের ওয়ালটন ডিপ্লোম্যাটিক জোনে। Okay, before the break we were talking about open information for the common people. You are working with the cyclone area for a long time to help those people, and you are opening cyclone shelter in disaster management system. So how are you working on there?
You know, as everybody knows in Bangladesh, that the coastline is particularly vulnerable to storms and flooding, and you know, we have had the Cedar storm and the Ayla storm. So we are working in this area on what we call disaster risk reduction. We would like to make communities more able to be prepared for a disaster and then to react in the right way and survive a disaster in a better way. Not only survive personally, but also we try to that their livelihood survives. Now, this means often training communities on how to react, teaching fishermen on what to do in case of a storm warning. We have been working in some areas with mosques so that the loudspeaker of the mosque can be used to warn people if a storm is approaching. And we have been working with school children so that every child, everybody knows what
to do.
The other thing that we are doing is constructing cyclone shelters. This is something which has existed for a long time. So we are contributing to this huge national effort to build a sufficient amount of shelters that people can take refuge. We are to provide a solution where people can bring at least their most valuable livestock, and they would hopefully survive the storm as well.
So do you have that much space there to take their livestock?
So it's a two-story building with a livestock floor and a floor for people.
That's really nice. So for how many cyclone shelters
we are building a dozen now. Now, of course, that's not a lot. We are not the only ones. This is our contribution to a big national effort. But I think very often it's rather the knowledge and preparedness of people which makes a difference rather than just the building.
Right. Personally, I believe the same thing, because if we can educate those people and give them the proper knowledge how to survive on this situation, so disaster management would be very easy, you know, and it's better to prevent the problem before than after, you know.
Right.
That's the most important thing. I know, like you were very recently, you were opening 4 cyclone shelter by March, middle of March, right?
Yes, exactly.
So which particular area they are in?
These are shelters in Bakarat district. They are south of the small town called Moralganj. But most of the shelters we are doing are in